Hi, I'm James Holter. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at the AMA, and I'm here with Chris Deandra, Rob Digman, AMA CEO, and Brad Balmert, board member of the AMA. And we have a special guest, this Kawasaki H1 Mach III. And this bike is actually the raffle bike that is currently being raffled off to raise money for the American Motorcycle Heritage Foundation. And that's the 501c3 that raises money for the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Buy a raffle ticket, this bike could be yours. Chris actually helped us when we went and purchased this bike for a raffle bike this cycle. And Chris is a Kawasaki H1 expert. And Chris, I'd like to ask you, what about this bike, what about the H1 makes it such a historic model?
Well, the 1969 was the first year for this bike. This is a 70. But when these bikes came out, it just took the world by storm. Nothing could touch them. I know that for a fact because I own a triple. But nothing could touch these bikes, and it just set the world on fire. And it actually revolutionized, I think, the motorcycle industry as far as performance bikes. And if it wasn't for this bike, we wouldn't have probably what we have today. And I'm not taking away from the Honda CBs or any other bike, the Vinces, even older bikes than that. But this bike is what really got the kick in the butt started for performance.
And what could you say about this particular example here?
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, it's one of the nicest ones I've ever seen. And we got it to fire right up. And I don't know how long it's been sitting, but I want one. I want this one. That's all I can say, but it is a beautiful example, and you'd be crazy not to get a ticket for this thing. I'm going to get some myself because now I'm eligible. But this is a very nice, pristine example of an H1, and these are getting harder and harder to find. And when you do find them, they cost money. So for a cheap ticket, you can own this bike.
Oh, Chris, I couldn't disagree with anything you said there. But I want to hear from someone who is not eligible to win this bike, and that's Brad. Brad, what do you think about this Kawasaki H1?
Well, I worked in motorcycle dealers in the 70s, and this looks like it's sitting on a dealership floor right now looking for a buyer of a brand new motorcycle. That's how nice this thing is. It's a perfect example.
I think we're going to pull the ticket for this at a pretty cool event coming up here.
Absolutely, yeah. Vintage Motorcycle Days. And as Chris says, if you don't buy a ticket for this, you're crazy because you can't get a bike like this for that cheap for a ticket. And Vintage Motorcycle Days is the place to be. I want to thank Chris for his help in securing this bike because it is just such a pristine example of this bike. And without having an expert like Chris to guide us in what to acquire, and he just fired this thing up, and it's been sitting for probably a year without running. So it was great to have it fired up and running, and we'll make sure we run it a few times between now and when we give it away in July. So when we pull the winning ticket and it's Chris's name on there, he knows it's running. So.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure I believe that this bike started right up. I think I need proof of that. Chris, do the honors.
Not that I didn't not trust it, because I've had a few they'll kick me back sometimes. But this bike starts on the first kick.
A few things sound as good as a two-stroke triple, right?
Boy, there's no other sound in the world. This bike makes its own unique sound. I mean, just like a Ferrari, they make their own sound. This bike has its own sound.
Well, there you go. Go to AmericanMotorcyclist.com and get a ticket today.